Hello, my name is Richard. I'm a volunteer with Buffalo Food Not Bombs. We're a group that feed primarily the homeless people downtown on Main and Court Street across from Tim Hortons. Homeless people have vegetarian meals. We get donations from a local health food store called Lexington Co-op, and also Go Bike, a bike repair shop that could use this as their fundraiser. Once a year they have a fundraiser called Cranksgiving to help support us, and they raise about between 500 and 700 pounds of dried food for us every year. However, we get majority of our fresh produce from the Lexington Co-op, and we have these. We feed the people Mondays and Saturdays at 1 o'clock. On Saturdays, we cook the hot vegetarian meals at the hostel on Main Street near the town ballroom. And at 1 o'clock, we take it down to Lafayette Square on Main and Court. Outside, we serve hot vegetarian meals. On Mondays, we cook in Unitarian Church on West Ferry and Elmwood. We use their kitchen from 10 to 1 to cook the hot vegetarian meals, and we transport it down on Main and Court across from Tim Hortons again, and we feed primarily homeless people. Our history is that we've been doing this for the last 20 years. My involvement has been the last 6 years. I walked by one day and saw them serving the food, and I had a need at the time, so I stopped and got some food and some fresh produce, because they access fresh produce that they don't cook or we don't cook. We leave that out in boxes so people can come around and help themselves and get some fresh produce and or fruit. This started again about 20 years ago here in Buffalo, and we get volunteers from all walks of life. Originally, their mission was to feed people that are on picket lines as protesting, and we did a lot of earlier years serving people who were protesting on picket lines. Food Not Bombs, as I understand it, food means we argue against wasted food, and not bombs, where we protest against war, where we advocate peace. So that's Food Not Bombs. And we don't have a lot of activity going on where a lot of protests going on in the city at this moment. So right now we feed the homeless people, and we've been doing this the last few years as far as cooking these meals and serving that population. There are people that come from all walks of life, everyone from doctors to just regular working people, to volunteer their time to prepare this food. People can come, and whatever things that we collect, they can decide how they want to make the meal, and a lot of things are directly on the stove in these 2 locations that I mentioned, and some things they can do as far as baking is concerned. Our primary way of cooking is for vegetarians, so we don't use meat, any meat products. We do use all vegetable meals because it's a vegetarian effort. We are global, and when I first started, I thought up until a few months ago that we were just here in Buffalo doing this. But after learning more about what's going on with this initiative, I found out Food Not Bombs volunteers are all over the world, in all different countries, and all in different continents. If you Google Food Not Bombs locations on a map for the world, they appear all over, everywhere from Chile, Australia to China to France. We're all over. And I enjoy it because every week when I go to help prepare the meals, at the hostel. This is where I primarily operate out of the hostel. We get different people who show up and learning a lot about different cooking dishes, vegetarian dishes. And no one's the boss. You know, we don't have anyone that we look at as running our group. When you come, you're the boss. And what you decide to cook is what's on you. If you want some advice, you know, we might give you some advice if you ask for it. However, we don't get involved in telling people what to cook and how to cook it. With that in mind, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you very much. And again, I'm with Buffalo Food Not Bombs, and my name is Richard.